Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 2, Episode 223. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's a rainy day and off to a late start this morning. I have to take my daughter to get an eye test done, so I'm waiting in the car right now for her to come out of the house. I'm going to go do that, and then I was going back and forth about which way I was going to travel. I had nailed it down for sure last night, but now I'm thinking I might go on a longer trip instead. Even though there's a lot of rain today and a lot of rain coming, I still might take the longer trip and try to get that extra money today. This week has been pretty flat, so I'd like to at least get $2,000 or $3,000 today, help prop things up a little bit. So we'll see how things go. I do have 2 meetings this morning. As soon as her appointment is done, I'll take her to school. Then the first meeting will start. I can do that in the car. And then the second meeting will start. I believe I can do that in the car as well. And by the time both of those meetings are over, I should only be about an hour away from my first destination. So I'm going to also need gas before I get to my first destination as well. So a lot of things going on. A lot of stuff happening at home. We had the situation with the gas, and now one of the water heaters is having an issue, so hopefully I'll get that fixed tonight when I get home. Probably won't be home till after 10 p.m. And then tomorrow we have tons of stuff happening, and I have a lot of things happening, so just part of life, I guess. So anyway, right now I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back soon. All right, guys, I am back. All right, here's where we are. I went to the eye doctor, got that all taken care of. Turns out that it's kind of a mistake, and we don't need new glasses and all that. Prescription didn't change, so we ordered some contacts. Those should take about a week to get in. The current glasses will work for a few days, and then we got some temporary 30-day contacts also until the glasses or the contacts get in. I'm not going to order new frames for her because they're like $200. So I want her to wear mainly contacts. I'll go online, get her 2 sets of complete glasses for about $40 or $50. She can have those in case she needs them and wear contacts most of the time. So that part is done. Right now, I'm in the car driving to my first destination. Terrible weather. Weather is bad and traffic is bad. I expect it to rain for at least the next hour and a half or so. Right now I have enough fuel to get to the city up ahead here in about 50 miles. I'll get gas there. And the reason I'm waiting is because I have a meeting starting in 5 minutes. I'll do actually 2 meetings. I'll do both meetings in the car while I'm driving to the gas station, get gas, continue on my trip. I'll have another hour to go after that, and then we'll get to our first spot and finally be able to start making some money. So right now, hoping that the meetings are not too intense, that they're pretty basic, that I can do them while I'm driving, and that I'm not required to present anything. And hopefully today will be a good day. Right now we are leaving 4 hours later than we normally do. I'm hoping to get back home by 10 or 11 p.m. We'll see how things go. I decided to take the longer route today, not the shorter one, because I wanted the best chance to make the most money today. So that you're all caught up on everything. It's kind of a cool day, 54 degrees, but the weather is just so bad. I am going full speed though. Letting you go for now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I had a terrible experience there. I didn't lose, but just had a terrible experience. I was in there for almost an hour. I only planned to be in there for just probably 15 or 20 minutes. Generally, I can get in and out of there pretty quickly. Of course, the time-wise is totally different, and I didn't even think about it coming in here, that things were going to be so different. I walked in. It was very busy. Very unusual for me. Usually I come in here so early the sun hasn't come up yet, or has barely come up, and just get leftover plays or plays from people who played overnight. But coming in now, I saw a whole different group of people checking slot machines, and I waited for one machine for so long, just standing behind, take a lap, come back, stand behind again, and at one point I just gave up on it and ended up going from slots to blackjack, which I never do here because they're so sensitive about their blackjack. But so slots wise, I walk in, look around, find a couple tiny plays. I lose on one, win on the other, end up around even, and then play a couple other things, and I was ahead about $15 or so before I went back to play blackjack. When I was done playing blackjack, came back out, there's a new set of machines that I believe are beatable. I'm pretty sure are beatable. I've watched about, 6 hours of video on this particular machine, and I'm pretty sure that I know what I'm doing with it, and I know the entry points, but I was a little worried about it. I wanted some real world experience. There's only so much I can do without having that machine anywhere in any of the states that I've been to. And then finally seeing it for the first time, I wanted to be careful. I found one machine at an entry level that I thought was good and played that, and actually had immediate success on it, and ended up winning a little bit on there, and left ahead $78 on the slots. So not great, not terrible, $78. I went to play blackjack. High limit was empty. There were 4 tables open, two $50, one $100, and one baccarat table. The $100 table had someone on it, which I'm not going to play anyway. And the baccarat table was empty. The other 2 tables were empty, and the pit boss was someone I'd never seen. I'd never seen any of these dealers either, so I was excited to give it a try, and it was not a fun time. I buy in for $500. The idea of spreading 50 to 250 count never really got positive. Maybe like a running 1 or 2. Other than that, was not positive at all. I was able to raise my bet to $100 one time. Other than that, I was playing $50 flat bet for 3 shoes, and the dealer was exhausting. She knew what I wanted to do before I did it, and I had to stop her a few times and tell her, no, wait a minute, I might want to do something different. And she did calm down a little bit on that, but she's one of those people that is like an airhead, I guess. So she'll say, okay, well, you need an 8, so ask for a 6, and maybe you'll get a 6 or 7, and all this back and forth. And I was just, I did not like that at all, because she was doing it repeatedly. Then she'd have 3 cards in front of her and have to recount them because she's doing this game in her head. Oh, you need 8, so ask for a 6. The dealer needs a 7, so ask for a 10, and all this different stuff. She had to recount her cards over and over again, and it was just a situation that I didn't like. It frazzled me a little bit. I never really had that happen before on every single one. And sometimes she would open the card top to bottom, sometimes left to right, sometimes right to left, and sometimes her bottom card she would use, or her top card she was used to flip the bottom card. Sometimes she would use her left hand, and sometimes she would use her right hand to flip the bottom card, which is very confusing. My counting style is a little bit different than anyone else that I've seen, in that I only count the dealer card if it's necessary, if it changes the possibility of a hit or something. It might change a deviation. So for example, if the running count is a 0 and the dealer has a face card, I have a 16, yes, I'm going to count it and I'm going to hit. But if the count is where there's no deviations are going to change, I don't count the dealer card, because one of the first dealers I ever encountered did something similar to this, where they would flip sometimes left, sometimes right, sometimes use their other hand to flip and scoop real quick, and sometimes you couldn't even see the cards. So in order to keep from counting the same card twice and the other card not at all, what I would do would be to count them after they flip them, which doesn't take any time at all, of course, and most times is neutral anyway. So anyway, I immediately started losing. The dealer got 6 blackjacks in the first shoe. I got 1, and the dealer had a backdoor blackjack, didn't get paid on it. I got no other blackjacks. Second and third shoe, the dealer got about 4 blackjacks. I got none. And it was just one of those grinds that was not even a fun grind, not an up and down. It was just drop and then don't make any money. And I was immediately down 600, and then sat there for about a shoe or a shoe and a half, and then grinded back a little bit, got within 200, and then started the third shoe. And then by the end of the third shoe, I was ahead $125. And I decided just to leave because it was a very annoying experience in a place that I'm not comfortable playing blackjack, and just was not having the right experience that I wanted. So I felt it best for me to leave. I was going to leave at the end of that shoe anyway, even if I was down. I wasn't going to be down much. I was just ready to go. The table was just exhausting. So anyway, moving on to the next stop. It is still raining, but it's raining lightly now, so it's a little bit better than it was before. Hopefully stop using the wipers here pretty soon and have a better day. So right now, letting you go, and I'll be back after the next stop. All right, guys, I am back. We are just about to go over a certain number in the podcast. That's going to be a huge number. I need to do something to celebrate it. I don't know what, but what just happened here is not something to celebrate, I'll tell you that. So I walk in, and I'm just leaving the casino right now, if you can hear all the noise in the background. But walk in, do all the normal checking around, and I found a couple small things on the machines, and ended ahead $84 on the machines. Everything is fine. At this point, there's no issue, no problems, nothing. So I go over to, hey man, how you doing?
How you doing?
I was down like 7,600 and got back to even.
Get out of here.
See ya, man. Well, there you go. I let the cat out of the bag. So they have a $50 and $100 table, and I sit down, start playing, lose right away, huge time. So I'm down like 2,500 after the first shoe, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's just every single hand is so bad. Just like the other place I was at, the dealers would get 4 to 6 blackjacks every shoe. I was at that table for 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I got 5 blackjacks in 2 hours and 10 minutes. So you got to figure 1 in 21 to get a blackjack, assuming a neutral deck, and I'm getting about 250 hands an hour. So I got about 500, 600 hands. I should have gotten about 30 blackjacks, and I end up with 5 blackjacks. And 2 of them I got not even money. 1 of them I got even money. 2 of them, the dealer had a backdoor blackjack, so I got paid on 2 of them. Luckily, they were both high. One was 400, one was 600, but still not the greatest situation there. So I got these dealers. They're nice dealers, but they're not good dealers, and they're always trying to have a conversation with you, but they're making mistakes. There was one hand where I had a 20, dealer gets a 19. Now, granted, it was like a 6-card 20, all right? But how do you forget? I'm the only person at the table. I'm playing you heads up. You just said 20 when I got 20, and you just got a 19. And he reaches for my chips. I have like $400 out there. You're reaching for my chips. Like, wait a minute. I'm a winner. And, oh, you're right. Not even a push on a win. So if it's on a push, you made an error by 1, right? If it's on a win, you made an error at least 2. You miscounted by at least 2. So anyway, I had the most insane things happen. I had neutral counts like 14, 15, 16, but then I had positive counts like 25, 30. I had true counts of like 14, 15 true counts. And I'm playing, I'm trying to play $50 to 500, but, you get into a situation where you can't do that anymore. And soon, what I started doing is I started a new shoe, betting 100 or 200. And if it went negative, I'd go to 50. And if it went positive, I'd raise from there. And that helped kind of camouflage, So if I'm going from 200 to 1,000, that's a 5 to 1 or 1 to 5. But if I'm going 50 to 1,000, that's a 20 to 1. So that's a huge difference. And I think I camouflaged it pretty well. I called the pit boss over quite a few times, and he seemed like he didn't want to talk anymore because I kept on calling him over. And that's the whole point here, is when you get yourself into these weird situations, you can't make yourself look like you're trying to hide or anything like that. I actually spread, minimum bet was 50. I went up to 1,000 or even 1,200 on a hand, single hand, and I went 2 hands of 600. Didn't have any problems, and there were some points where I would spread to 2 hands, then it would go negative. I'd go to minimum on both hands. It would go back positive again. But if it went more than like a running 1 minus, minus 1 or minus 2 running count, I would go back down to 1 hand. So I was doing everything, and I was there for a long time, and I had some incredible hands. I had quite a few hands that I split to 4 and doubled 2 or 3 of them and won. And similarly, I had the same thing happen, and I lost, and those are heartbreakers. There was one point where I was up $300, which was my max that I was ahead, and I had a $400 handout. I split double and lose. That really takes the wind out of your sails when that happens, right? You've been clawing back for 2 hours, you get back to even, and then you lose 1,600 on one hand when you're betting 400 and you're up 300, So went through so many of those things. I split aces only once, and you can resplit aces here. I split them to 3 on a $400 hand, and I got 15, 14, 14, and I won against a face card. What else? Split 8s a ton of times, split 6s a ton of times, and mostly winners. But overall, it was the beginning, the first hour and a half or so was just 70% losses, 75% losses. And then where I made my money was like 50-50, but I was raising at the right time, I was winning at the right time, and helped me get back up. And I think officially I can say my spread was 50 to 1,200. The low for the session was minus 7,600. The high for the session was plus 300, and I left plus 100. And I got to even about 9 times and was down 5,000 again every single time. And finally just got exhausted, and I said, that's it, that's enough. I want to get up and walk around a little bit. So you think that's a long story already, but so I go, all right, I'm happy. I got my chips. I'm going to the cashier. Problem, I've got 8,100 in chips. They can only cash 2,000 without ID. I walk up to the cashier and I hear, "Hey Joe, how you been?" And I'm like, holy, nobody here knows that name. Everybody knows me by my casino name, which is not Joe. And it was a guy from my home city that I got kicked out from. And he knows my dog's name even. He knows everything about me. But I saw him about a year ago, and he was nice and everything and never mentioned anything to anybody about me being banned. And then I saw him now, and I'm like, why isn't he saying anything or doing anything? And then I realized he said that he got moved over into HR. He was a cashier at that city. He got moved over to HR, so he has no clue. He says, how are things in blank, my home city? And I said, oh, everything is fine. I said, except over there they let us cash 3,000 out without a hassle, and here you guys only let me cash out 2. And he laughed about it and stuff. He asked me about my dog, and so anyways, that was interesting. Walked around a little bit, didn't see any other plays to make, and started to leave. And I decided to call a friend of mine who was here. Maybe he could help me cash chips. And then I realized he's banned from this casino, so he can't help me cash chips. But I'm moving on to another casino right now, and he's going to be there, and he may know someone who might want to buy these chips. I cashed out $2,000. I have $6,100 in chips in my pocket, which I hate. And hopefully I can get some of those sold. If not, it's already 5 p.m. After this casino, I'm going to hit one other casino. Then I may go back to that one again and see what I can do. And then my friend has a good story for me. And depending on what the story is, I might be able to tell it on the podcast. So I'm going to meet him in about 5 minutes, play some blackjack, play some slots, and then I'll be back to update you. All right, I just wanted to say that last session I had was definitely the funnest one I've had in a long time. It's been a long time when I had some action like that, but we had good counts, up and down, action, crazy stuff happening, and I can't complain. That's the closest I've had to fun doing this in a long, long time. So at least I had something to take with me other than the $100 that I won. So anyway, I am in this place looking for my friend. There were some good machines that we liked, but they had shut down recently, and I want to see, they reopened them. So now maybe we can make some money on those, because those are very predictable. And let's see here, walking around. I haven't done one of these before where I walk around looking at machines talking, but I think it would be kind of boring for you. So I'm going to let you go, walk around, find something to play, make some money, and then hopefully come back and give you some good news. I'll be back. Oh my God, this place is so annoying right now. I can't stand this place. I go into this place, I spent about 45 minutes in there, didn't find one slot play at all, not one slot play. Go to the tables, you have $25 tables, hit 17, not the end of the world. I'm willing to do it as long as it's 6 deck. And you have $200, stay 17. I sit down at the $25 hit 17 table. I'm all right with it. I buy in for 500. I'm spreading from 25 to 250. Guess what my top bet was after 2.5 shoes? $50. $50. There was nothing going on. Most annoying players, most annoying dealers, slowest dealers. This is ridiculous. I cannot stand this place right now. And then they have this guy walking around giving away money to table games players. He comes around to my table like 5 or 6 times. Who's being rated over here? Who's playing rated? 5 or 6 times he comes around, the loudest voice over the speakers. And what does he give away after 10 or 15 minutes of this aggravation and yelling over the speakers? $25. I don't care about your damn $25, man. Leave me alone. I don't need your $25. So stupid. I didn't even color up. I just got up and I left the table. The dealer was annoying. The players were annoying. I had a guy come to the table with probably about $1,400 or $1,500 in chips. First of all, he's annoyed already, which doesn't make me happy because I'm not that happy myself. And you're cutting in on my shoe, which is slightly positive at this point. And he sits down, he plays one hand of 100 and another hand of 1,000. His $100 hand gets a blackjack and he loses the other one. Then he plays one hand of 100 and the other hand of like 650 or whatever he had left. And he gets a 20 on the $100 hand and he loses the other one. Then he puts the money out on the next hand, loses it, and leaves. Meanwhile, this lady comes to the table with red chips and a few green chips to a $25 table, and she's playing both of the side bets. And she's putting 25 on 20 on this, 5 on this, 750 on this. I'm like, come on, you got to be kidding me! So slow. And she gets up 3 times during the shoe to talk on the phone, and comes back. So I spread from $25 to $50 over 2.5 shoes. The low for the session was minus 100. The high for the session was plus 100. And I left at 0. And I am happy to be out of there. Now, while I was there, I talked to a friend of mine, and we talked about some stuff actually I can't talk about here. But he did mention that on his way back from out west, he met a guy at a casino, and the guy was from California, and he asked him if I was for real and I was from this area, and he told him I was for real. So to the guy from California, keeping the flame, yes, I am real, and I do this almost every day, about 4 or 5 days a week, and the more time I can get in, the better. But feel free to email me if you ever want to, and I'll be going out your way probably in April or May, and we'll see, so anyway, I'm glad you're listening, glad to hear that you're listening, and hope to meet you one day. You were there with your girlfriend, and my friend talked to you for a little while. So anyway, letting you go for now, and I will be back. I'm going into this hole-in-the-wall place to make no money, but it's here, so I'm going to go in and take a look, and then I'm going to go try to cash some more of these chips, maybe a couple thousand more of these chips. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Had another awful experience. Too busy, not enough tables, bad games, just awful. I played a little bit on a bad table with not so good rules, and ended up doing okay, but just not good. It's not my thing. This busy, slow table stuff is not for me. That's for sure. I played blackjack for about half an hour. That's all I could get in. Then it was so packed I couldn't play anymore. And I thought the table was a $50 table, but it was a $15 table. And I hit 17. And had a $500 limit. So I said, I think I'm going to go 600 on this hand. The dealer said there's a $500 limit. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I had a bunch of ups and downs on the table. Ended up ahead 500 at the end, but just not a good experience overall. It is so busy and so noisy, and the machines are broken, and the people repairing them are not available. And you push the button asking for someone to come help you, and no one comes. Eventually somebody came. I found a machine in a really good spot, and the guy said the bill acceptor was broken and no one will be in until at least Sunday to look at it. And it was, I mean, that was in a position to probably pay $300 or $400 profit, and I couldn't play it, so I'm not going to be here Sunday, that's for sure. So right now I'm going to head back to the second casino we went to. I am going to cash out a couple thousand in chips, see how busy the high limit is, and see if I can get any playtime in. Right now it's 7:30 p.m. Not my day, not my week, but you got to keep on grinding. See if we can get another 500 by the end of the day. I'd feel a lot better. So I think we're only up like 900 right now for the day. Not feeling good about it. Doing all this work, doing all this driving, and suffering through all these people and slow everything. Just awful. I gotta turn myself around here. I'll be better after the next spot. Let me go into the next spot. I'll come back. I'll feel better. Alright guys, I am back. I hate to say it, but this was probably the most successful part of my day at this place. And I didn't make any money, and it's like the most successful part. Because I walked in there, I had $6,100 in chips left from earlier today. I walked in, this place was packed. I mean, so many people in there, every table full. First thing I did is go to the cashier. Limit is $2,000. I cashed out $2,000 in chips. This guy I've never seen before, perfect. Then I leave and go to check some machines, and first thing I see is a guy that I know. And I said, did so-and-so call you? And he said, yeah, I heard about the chip problem. How much you need cash? And I said, well, I got $4,100 left. He said, well, I got so-and-so here, and they'll cash them for you. They're this level, the highest level, which is like equal to playing $2 million in slots through the machines in a year. So that gives you an idea of how much volume it takes to be that highest level. So I said, well, I don't want to have a problem. This person normally doesn't cash chips, so I said, can they just do $2,000? and I gave them $2,000. They took off, came back with my $2,000. Didn't even count it because I trust these people. They're good people. And then I walked around to go to the high limit. I actually went to the bathroom, double checked all my money at that point, and I saw I had $2,100 left in chips. Went back around, and there was only one person at the cashier, and he was busy. And I didn't want to stand in line and have the person who just cashed me out see me again. So I took another lap around the casino, came back around, and not only was that person cleared up, but there were two other people that weren't there before that hadn't seen me yet. I went to one of them and cashed out $2,000. So I walked in with $6,100 in chips and walked out with $100 in chips and $6,000 in cash. All the machines were pretty much empty, like there was nothing available. So no big deal there, but I got what I wanted, which is to cash some of this money out. And I actually was going to do something else tonight in this area, but if it's this busy here, it's going to be worse at the other place, and I just don't want to mess with it at this point. So I'm going to head out of this area, head to a new area, and we'll try to make some money over there and see what happens. So right now, it's about 8:20 p.m., so I was in and out of there pretty quickly and got my cash. So I don't even know if I mentioned weather is good now. It's 43 degrees outside, and I haven't eaten yet today. Bad habit I've been getting into lately. I used to do everything perfectly as far as food and all that, and I've been kind of letting it go, and I need to stop it. So on my way to the next place, I'll see what food places are open, and I'll pre-order and pick it up on the way so I don't lose any. Actually, you know what? They at the casino, which is an hour from here, they have something that I really like a lot. So I'll just wait another hour and pick it up from there. So letting you go for now, and we may be able to make it home without stopping for gas, but it's going to be borderline. We'll see what happens. I'll let you go, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I left that casino a little while ago, continuing on my trip home. Right now it is 10:45, still about 2 hours away from home. Went into that casino, played a lot of little plays, had tons of ups and downs. It was very crowded in there as well, and I was able to get some good food. Actually got some sushi, got 3 spicy tuna rolls, and just scarfed those down. They were delicious. And just continuing on my trip here, I ended the slot session plus $40. So plus 40, and yeah, it's been a very up and down, emotional day. Not what I thought it would be when I started off. It's been a very up and down emotional week, and I have no clue where I am. I'm gonna guess I'm probably up 3,500 maybe. I don't really know. I know I had a couple days in the middle of the week that were pretty much zero. But anyway, I will get all that added up, and in the next episode I will let you know how that ended up. I think we got worse off this week, so we're stretching out our deficit toward our goal for this time in the year. I don't know. I think I'm a little indifferent right now. Probably emotionally exhausted right now, and glad the week is over. Have a huge weekend planned. Tons of work that needs to be done. Water heater needs to be fixed. The tires I ordered came in. I got to get those put on the car. My son's got a birthday party where we rented out this space for 10 of his friends. Just so many things happening. I can't even recall everything right now. Family picture for the holidays. Couple of games for my kids that we have to go watch, and then I got to get my plans finalized for Thanksgiving, get the hotels in place, and get everything figured out, get packed, and then finally it looks like I did figure out a schedule for travel to the south. It will be early December. I have exact dates, but I'll let you know when it happens. And I have plans about where I'm going to go. It's going to be fun, I think. There's going to be less blackjack, more slots. Although there might be some blackjack as well. I really don't know. But the plan is to make some big slot plays. And then after Thanksgiving, we're going to be moving on into some new things that we've never done before. And hopefully those are fruitful, and we continue finding more ways to make money, as some of the ways that we're making money right now are not doing very well. So with all that, let me think here. Right now it's getting cold, 37 degrees outside, and like I said, still a few hours away from home. So for now I'm going to let you go, and we'll probably see you Sunday, I'm thinking. I may go somewhere Sunday. If you have any questions or comments, it's mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.